soda. Ruby boys, they know us. All fast money, no slow bucks.
What is going on, guys? Brandon here, aka Brawadis, and today this is an episode of the Brawadis NBA show. If you guys have been with me from the start, you would know that I used to only upload the Brawadis NBA show. I didn't do any vlogs, no challenges, no pranks. My channel used to be straight basketball talk, but then my channel started expanding, and I know a ton of my subs came from Rug, and I know they're not really into basketball, they're more into my other stuff, so I kind of cut down on that, but I want to bring it back up. That's me. I love talking about basketball. I love educating people about basketball. I love debating basketball. I just love anything that has to do with NBA. So I won't ever do the Brawadis NBA show and leave that as my only upload. The only time I'll do the Brawadis NBA show is if I've already uploaded either a vlog, challenge, or prank. And then I'll just throw in a Brawadis NBA show as a double upload, so I don't feel like that'll be a problem to my subs. Today, I wanted to talk about two things. One, the Suns, full tank mode. They're in full tank mode. There is no reason for them to try to win any games. They're not going to make the playoffs. Matter of fact, they're one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team in the league. They have the fourth worst record behind Brooklyn, Philly, and LA. They're trying to get a top 3 pick. So, Eric Bledsoe out for the season following his knee surgery. Brandon Knight's missing games here and there. If the Suns were in playoff chase, Brandon Knight would be playing. But since they're tanking, they're holding him out. Honestly, I got the best news on my phone today. Brandon Knight's going to miss the next 4 games. The only news better than that I would get is if he was going to be kicked out of the league, honestly. No, I'm just joking. I don't hate Brandon Knight that much. I just don't want him on the Suns. He's very inefficient. He plays no defense. And he's a stat sheet stuffer. If you look at the stat sheets, you say, wow, Brandon Knight is really good. But if you actually watch the games, he is not a good point guard. I hope the Suns find a way to trade him, whether it's at the trade deadline or after the season. You got Bledsoe coming back next year, and you finally have a true shooting guard in Devin Booker. The Suns have been running this 2-point guard system, thinking it's going to work. No, it doesn't. Look at all the top teams, the Spurs, Warriors, and Cavs. They've got a point guard and a shooting guard. Look at OKC. They got a point guard and a shooting guard. The Clippers, they got Chris Paul. There's no team that's successful running a 2-point guard system. Get rid of one of the guards, and I'm hoping it's not Bledsoe. I'm hoping they get rid of Knight, start Devin Booker next season. Speaking of Devin Booker, his last 3 games, 32 points, 25 points, and 15 points. That last game, 15, was not that good, but you consider he just turned 19 years old and he's a rookie. 15 points is above average. So, he's been going off recently, and he's 6'6", over 200 pounds. He's great size for a 2-guard. The Suns don't need to be running a 2-point guard system anymore. I'm hoping they find a way to get rid of Knight. Enough about the Suns. All I'm going to say is that I used to get really upset, really mad. You guys saw my reactions when they would lose, but now losses honestly are better at this point. There's no point for the Suns to win any games. The more losses, the better. You get a high draft pick, and you go from there. You start over next season. The main reason that I was doing this show today is because if you don't know what's coming on in a few hours, then you can't call yourself a true NBA fan. This is the game that everyone's been waiting for. This game is possibly the greatest regular season game to ever be played. They're San Antonio Spurs with only 6 losses at this point against the Golden State Warriors, who only have 4 losses at this point. No 2 teams have ever met with this good of a record. It's in Golden State. Golden State is undefeated at home. San Antonio is undefeated at home too, but that doesn't matter right now because they're playing in Golden State. This game is going to be close. It's going to be really good, and I can't wait to watch it. If you call yourself an NBA fan, you got to watch this game. This is potential Western Conference Finals matchup right here. I don't see the Thunder or Clippers beating the Spurs or Warriors. This could be the Western Conference Finals. If you watch my vlogs and you pay attention to every detail, you've heard me say that I picked the Spurs to beat the Golden State Warriors in a 7-game series. Tonight is not a 7-game series. I'm going Golden State winning tonight for 2 reasons. One, Popovich, you knew he was going to rest players. He took Tim Duncan out. Tim Duncan's not even going to be at the game. So Tim Duncan's resting. The game is in Golden State, which makes it really tough. And just the simple fact that Popovich he does not really care about these regular season games. For all he could take a loss and he'll sleep perfectly well at night. Whereas Golden State, they're trying to prove that, championships, we're playing at home. Like this is our court, blah blah, like all this. I'm taking the Warriors tonight, but like I said, I'm taking the Spurs in the playoffs. But yeah, if you guys are asking about tonight, I want to know who you guys are picking tonight because tonight's a great game. Like I said, maybe one of the best regular season matchups in NBA history. Maybe it lives up to the hype, maybe it doesn't because this game has gotten so much hype. But yeah, if I'm the Spurs, I put Kawhi Leonard on Steph Curry. Kawhi's 6'7" with huge hands, and you hope that Tony Parker, either you put him on Klay or you put him on Harrison Barnes, because even though that's a huge mismatch, Klay Thompson's 6'6", Harrison Barnes is 6'8", you'd rather have Klay or Barnes kill you than you do Steph. So you put Leonard on Steph and go from there. Would I be surprised if the Spurs win tonight? No. They're arguably the best team in the league. But am I picking them to win? No, I'm going Golden State. I mean, yeah, the only way I see the Spurs winning tonight is if Steph has an off game and then you have someone step up for San Antonio, whether that's Ginobili off the bench, whether LaMarcus has one of his Portland Blazers days and he puts up like 26, 27. Anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it for today's Brawadis NBA show. It was pretty short. I just talked about Brandon Knight being terribly inefficient with no defense, Devin Booker being the future of the Suns and the rising star for Phoenix, and I talked about the Spurs and Warriors game. I want to know what you guys think about tonight's game. I can't believe Pop. You knew he was going to do something like that, resting Duncan. I don't think he wants to show his whole team. I don't think he wants to show all the tricks he has until playoff time. So I guess smart move by him. But anyways, leave in the comments below what you guys think. And I hope you guys have a great day. Brawadis, I'm out.